The worst is this working with, all right, let me tell you something, a little secret. Working with like clay and then being on a green screen has got to be like the biggest polar opposites I've ever had to deal with. All right. But what do we got for you guys today? I'm going to do, I've been still working on my 1,000 pots. I'm going to be doing that for a long time now. I think I just breached 700, so now I'm over into, the final stages. I got like 300 more, so that'll be kind of exciting. So I got 3 of those peeked up for you guys, and that's about it. Let's get into it. Camera A. Camera A. All right, let's wheel. All right, camera C. Camera C. There we go. All right, I think we're gonna do with these. These are a little bit soft. Let's see, what's harder? I feel like this is probably a little bit stiffer. I didn't leave out clay, so I'm gonna be a little bit behind on my, what is it called? Clay wedging scenario. But I had some out of the clay. Like if we go over here, I'll show you guys what I mean. Like a lot of the clay, like this is actually okay, right? But some of it is like so squishy. I call it the peanut butter clay. I hate throwing with the peanut butter clay. I was trying to be too cool. But we can fix it. And if we messed up once, you know what we're gonna do? We gotta try it again. But really we wanna make sure we heal that spot that kind of ripped off, because we're gonna get some air bubbles there that kind of went too crazy, right? All right, there we go. And now we gotta slow our wheel down. Right? There we go. I always start with the volcano. And I gotta make sure I got some hard chunks in my sponge here because I didn't let it dry out completely. So I'm gonna be a little bit careful with my sponge. But I got my knuckle at the bottom here. And since the clay is soft, right? Softer than what it was yesterday, you gotta be a little bit more gentle on this first equalizing pull, right? Get it equalized. Somebody made another comment real quick. Let's see what they gotta say. Did you ever get the audio working? Oh, you wanna see if we got the audio working? Camera A. Goated 3.
There's no going back. You've changed things forever. And why do you want to kill me? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? No, you. You complete me.
Give me one more chance, I'll fight. Let me put you in the side. I ain't got no time for you.
Remember, we're looking for the bump. The bump is always the gift. Enter the zone. Beast mode zone. You see it wobbling in that middle part. It's trying to go away. Not yet, dude. Okay. And since it's thin, we can't do too much, but we know it's going to collapse because it's a little bit thin, right? And so here, spider pull. And the spider pull is really about just kicking that out ever so slightly, so then it just sits right on that twist. Slowly let up, let off. And there's going to be some spots where it's going to want to collapse later on. But our goal now is to try to get through that as fast as we can before it totally wants to just rip apart, right? And here, let's get the flashlight out. Camera C. Camera C. Okay, flashlight. And so if we look in there, we got a pretty cool twist on the inside there. But you can also see, I don't know how close you guys can see, but do you see how it's ripping and tearing? It's so thin, and I added way too much water, so it's overhydrating that clay, and so it's creating water fissures. And so that's part of the downside of throwing like how I throw, right? And I just think I love like how it's just showing you some of that stuff on the underside there, and then look at it, right? I've always thought I love the idea of having little things come out of here one day, but we'll see, we'll get it there. You know, first we gotta make all of them. Did I ever get the audio working? Yes, I did. Boom. So push that down, add a little water. I like to drag my finger right up underneath there. And there I go. Push this back up. Ooh, dude. Ah, there we go. Push the clay down. They said something to me. How long have I been throwing for? I've been throwing for 5 years, but I told myself that I've really only been throwing for 3 years, because the first 2 years, I feel like I really wasn't like, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I still don't know what I'm doing, but 2 years in, I stopped trying to cover up my mistakes, and I tried to really solve them. I used to do a lot of like, I would put faces all over my cups and like sculpt all over them, and I was doing it as a way to like hide the imperfections, right? And here we are pushing this down. And in hiding those imperfections, I think I missed out on form. And so now I think my whole entire practice with ceramics is all based around form. And like, what forms can you generate on the wheel? Again, we're going right out to the bottom here. Push that clay down. And we're just trying to bump this clay out. And again, we asked the clay, hey, do you have anything for us? And what do you know? The clay said, hey, I got a new shipment of a bump. Destination, top of the frickin' pot. And we're just slowly bringing that up. And this is the last pull, so you can see how we're slowly getting rid of that neck and we're turning it back into a cylinder. And whenever you're throwing, you know, it's really all about kind of being slow with it on those parts where you're adding a lot of tension, right? We gotta twist that out. Ooh, okay. So this one is gonna collapse. I already can feel it. So we're gonna slowly allow it to drift down. But look how much that one sat down. That one really was like, hey, hold on. I got somewhere to be. But I feel like, to me, this is why they start looking like trees. Camera C. So you can kind of see like this freaking, look at that radial. Oh, I just love it. Just love it. You gotta push it forward a little bit to keep it on center when you're doing it that long like that. Okay, so here. All right, camera B. Camera B. There we go. Very slowly. And then as it's sort of tilting down, you can bring your hand down. Just catch where those spots are, where it's tilting. So you can slowly bring that back in. right? As you get low, you have to put a little bit more force because the clay is getting thicker. And then do you see like the key here, right? Do you see it's still a little bit wobbly here? So I have my hand there. I'm activating my chicken wing, right? And when the chicken wing is activated, you scoop right underneath there. And you start pulling that up towards your body as you're pushing this other hand down. And so watch. Right? And look at that. Naturally, just when Joe Dirt Ceramics wants to see my stuff fired. Well, I have a bunch of stuff here. Come with me, Joe Dirt. So you can see I got a bunch of my stuff. I guess I can just grab one of them. Hand's a little bit dirty, but we'll grab this one here. Spodumene heavy matte glaze. And so you can see on the underside of these, here, you can see on the underside of these, it's a little bit more of that Chino looking color, but it's actually like a crystalline matte spodumene looking glaze, right? And what I did is I added some copper and tin to it because I wanted to start getting some of the peachy reds in reduction, right? And then what I did is I had a Celadon glaze that I ended up changing into just like a plum Celadon, was again, you know, some copper and tin, and I sprayed that on the top on an angle so that it kissed those edges and emphasized those layers. And again, we always ask the clay, hey Clay, do you got anything for us down here, my friend? And the clay says yes. I have this little bump for you, Pottery Demon. Take it to the usual destination, to the top of the pot. And like a slug, you know, a grueling task. Add some more water there on my fingers, on the inside too. Like a slug, you know, Pottery Demon, he takes that bump all the way to the top, very slowly. Thank you, Clay. Really, thank you so much. Right, we gotta thank the clay. Because the clay gave us an opportunity to go on the journey, right? The journey is the most important part. Enjoy the little detours, because that's where you'll find things more important than what you're searching for. A little reference for you guys, those who know. So I had to catch it. That was so weird. I was like off rhythm, but I was still trying to catch up with rhythm even though the wheel was spinning in the wrong speed. Just adding a little bit something. Sometimes if you go a little bit wider on that bottom, it emphasizes more weight towards that middle and more attention towards that middle twist, right? All right, camera C. Camera C. Somebody said hello. Hello. The way you throw is so unique. Awesome to watch. Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say. Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of weird because, get that thing on my face. What the heck? The thing was just, those little things hanging from the light. That thing was just bouncing on my nose. Look at that. You throw is so unique. Awesome to watch. Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say. Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of weird because, get that thing on my face. What the heck? The thing was just, those little things hanging from the light. That thing was just bouncing on my nose. Look at that. Well, here, you can look at the clay here. So look at my finger, push in. Easy. Look at my finger, push in. Not the hands off here. Okay, hold on. Clay, chill out. I know this seems weird, but I can't have too much water on there. This thing, come back to life, Clay. You're drying too much, but we can bring you back. Come on, bro. You know, what do we not all have? We don't all have freaking like the strength of like some bodybuilders. So what do? We resort to our weight of our body, right? Not bodybuilder, but body. And we just come down on the clay using our shoulder. And you're not just like laying on it, right? You're trying to be tense, right? And you're trying to also be focused on where you're setting that your arm there, right? It can't just be anywhere. You really got to be slow with it and be focused on where you're moving it. And so I normally do is I get my other hand, like little clamp down on my hip bone there. I always find my hip bone. I feel like if I ever die and they look at my skeleton, they'll be like, oh, we knew this guy was a potter. His hip bone is freaking all dented. So the llama's biting on the wall there. And the llama, you know, he's a destroyer llama, right? And what he did Made a little volcano. Llama, my friend. It's dangerous to be making volcanoes on the wheel, my friend. You gotta say llama, bad llama. And so now he's changing into a knuckle to help me pull the rest of the top of the pot off. Pot up. That's so funny. Alright, again, this first pull is really about getting some of that clay just equalized. And the harder the clay, you're going to start noticing chunks come off. Be okay with it getting cut off. You know, just don't freak out and start moving your hands all over the place. Really, the key is to keep that knuckle sturdy, to then go into collar. And your collar, when you're collaring something, it should feel like you're doing a pole. Like your collar should feel like a pole. And so there we go. And this isn't really a pull for height because we got height. This is just an equalizing pull. And so I have one finger above and one finger below. And then creating this little ring that I'm just using to just give some more intentional line work. I'm gonna go up a little bit. Dun, 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 with a spiral. And we're gonna pause. And then make a couple of rotations paused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice equal line here. I already feel that there. I'm gonna get a tear there. But here we go. I bring this down. Watch me bring this out, guys. Be intentional with your finger placement. Direct pressure outwards, guys. And don't forget to breathe. And you're gonna see those tears come out. Don't be scared. Slow down the wheel. We're not done with this pull. Okay, there we go. Taking this off. Dun, 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 dun. You know, so we got this green screen, or the green thing in the back. How about we set some dudes right on top? Oh, it's green, so it's an... Oh my God. Yo, I totally... Menards, you just got 10 times better for that, yo. Freaking Menards coming in clutch, guys. Yo, look how crazy that looks. It's literally just floating there. Dude, that looks insane. I think this one here, just the way I have this controlled spiral on this bottom section, and then it goes up and it hits that twist in the middle rather than going up through the whole pots like the other ones here. I think there's something really cool about that, right? And I have long tendrils that go up and sort of feeding onto that spiral, leading the viewer upwards, right? In that way where most people cut that off, but for me, that stuff, that's all potential, and I'm sort of showing that off here. And when I get to the top, you got some tearage on some of them. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but I have some tearage that, you know, you can see through the pot. Like, it's literally rips, but they don't disturb the form. They actually, in my opinion, sometimes those weird rips, they actually add to it. So I think this one in general, I love the way and what you can do with some more stiff clay.